Fox Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
There is baseball today here in downtown Detroit as the Tigers' lengthy homestand comes to a close. Welcome to Comerica Park. Fourth and final game in the series featuring the Chicago White Sox and the Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Rod Allen. We are glad to have you with us here for the series finale between these two Central Division foes. And really, one thing we've learned after 3 games in this series, Rod, this Chicago team, they are a feisty bunch. Tigers today hoping for a split.
When the season began, it was the Tigers, it was the Cleveland Indians, it was the Kansas City Royals. The Chicago White Sox were not given much of an opportunity in this division, but right now they have 11 victories. And as you mentioned, they're playing some pretty good baseball.
We are changing our minds on Chicago, no doubt. Now, Max Scherzer, we have known all along he's going to be good, and he has had a terrific start to 2014.
Well, since the beginning of the 2012 season, Maxwell Scherzer, 38 wins as a pitcher, which paces the major leagues. He's got that fastball that will go anywhere from 95 to 96. He's got a little run to that pitch, but it's really the changeup and the slider and the curveball that kind of separates Max from most other starters. The Chicago White Sox watched Justin Verlander a couple of nights ago. They will pretty much be getting a sample of the same exact stuff here today with Max Scherzer on the mound.
All right, after a short break, we'll send you back to the Call Sam studios and check in with Matt Shepard. But coming up here this afternoon, Tigers have to find a way to slow down Jose Abreu. He has hit 2 400-foot home runs in this series. Tigers White Sox series finale next. Here this afternoon, the Tigers and White Sox, and Max Scherzer on the hill today for the Tigers, presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And Max was simply outstanding 5 days ago against the Los Angeles Angels. Gave up only one earned run to them. That was on a leadoff home run to lead off the game by J.B. Shuck. He'll have that mid-90s fastball and an assortment of real good off-speed pitches here today against the White Sox.
And the first pitch of today's ball game is outside to Jordan Danks. Danks just 1 for 12 in the series, batting .111. He'll shoot that one in the air, foul down the left field line, back out of play.
And Danks is getting an opportunity to play every day because of some of the injuries to their everyday starting outfielders. Avi Garcia out for the season, and Adam Eaton, their center fielder, is bothered by a hamstring. But Danks not doing much with the bat.
Here is the 1-1 now from Max. And Danks looks at a ball low. 2-1 the count on the White Sox leadoff man. Just underway here at the ballpark. Chicago has won 2 of the first 3 in this series. That's pulled on the ground at first base, gobbled up there by Cabrera. Danks is on 1 away. Here's the rest of the lineup for Chicago, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. You saw Danks leading it off. He's followed by Marcus Semien, Jose Abreu, and then Adam Dunn will clean up the DH. Dion Viciedo, Alexi Ramirez, Deaza Beckham back in the lineup today off the DL, and Tyler Flowers batting 9th and doing the catching for the White Sox. Connor Gillespie was in the original starting lineup. He was a late scratch, though, so they had to juggle things up. Marcus Semien had the big blow last night, the grand slam home run that turned out to be the difference in the ball game, and he cuts and misses. No balls and 2 strikes.
A couple of fastballs thrown right by Semien at 90 miles an hour.
Scherzer at 1-1 this year, an ERA of 2.33. Missing high with a fastball there, 1-2. Cool afternoon here at the ballpark today. A little bit of a breeze blowing. We'll get you our field conditions in just a second. The 1-2 pitch. Checked it, did not go. And they will appeal, but C.B. Buckner said he held up. 2-2 on Semien. Scherzer struck out 9 against the Angels, 10 against the Padres 2 starts ago. Fouled straight back.
Max averaging about 11 strikeouts per 9 innings this season.
Waiting on deck is Abreu.
Oh, he's got some pop in that bat.
He just looks mean on deck and big and strong. 3-2. Scherzer, good numbers lifetime against the White Sox, 8-5 overall. There's another one fouled back out of play, and an ERA of 2.67 in his career against the Southsiders.
White Sox have always had a lot of right-handers on their team, and Max in his big league career really has dominated right-handed batters.
Again, the 3-2. Swing and a miss, and Semien is out of there.
Outstanding change piece there by Max Scherzer.
It's his first strikeout. Today's field conditions, as promised, are presented by Ace Hardware and the Scotts Company. 54 degrees our game time temperature. A little bit of a breeze, not much. It is dry, it is cool, and partly cloudy at the ballpark today.
And look at the changeup come out of the hand of Max. Darting down in the strike zone. Semien swung right over the top of it.
2 up, 2 down. Here is Jose Abreu. He shoots one back up the middle on the ground, gobbled up there by Kinsler, and it's going to be an easy 1, 2, 3 inning for Mad Max. Here come the Tigers in the bottom of the first. The first inning here at the ballpark. Rajai Davis getting set to lead off. The Tigers starting lineup presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Davis back in the lineup today for the Tigers, followed by Kinsler and Cabrera. Victor is cleaning up the DH. Torrey Hunter back in there as well. Austin Jackson in center field. You've got Castellanos, Holiday, and Danny Worth getting a start at shortstop today for Detroit. They are facing the left-handed offerings of Jose Quintana.
He's got a pretty good arm. His fastball will top out at about 92. He'll also cut the fastball. He likes his curveball to the lefties and the righties, and the changeup he usually throws to the right-handed batters, but he'll compete out there today. He's got a nice arm.
And Rajai Davis leads it off for Detroit, batting .304. One home run this year for Davis, and Quintana hits the inside part of the plate.
That's what he will do a lot of. He's not afraid to throw that cut fastball inside to the right-handed hitters.
Make it 2-1.
And Quintana ran into a little difficulty his last time out against the Texas Rangers because he was throwing too many inside fastballs, and he got caught. They got 5 runs against him in that start.
Trying to right the ship here this afternoon against the Tigers. He's pitched pretty well in his career against Detroit. The 2-1 pitch is sprayed foul back out of play.
17 no decisions last year for Quintana. 17 no decisions in one season.
I was looking at that. He made 33 starts, yet his record was only 9-7.
He had a good year. I mean, if he gets any run support whatsoever, if the bullpen doesn't blow leads for him, this guy would have had a really nice winning percentage last year.
Well, the 17 no decisions last season, the most in American League history in a single year. The most ever. And when you go back to the beginning of 2012, he's got 29 no decisions. Left-hander, a native of Colombia, 25 years of age. Rajai taking his time getting back into the box as he doctors up the bat. That'll bounce in. 3 balls and 2 strikes on the Tigers leadoff man, who is 7 for 14 against Quintana. This has been a good matchup for Rajai. Waiting on deck, Ian Kinsler. Here's the 3-2. Got him. Strike 3. Davis thought he had a walk. He was headed to first. He does not like that call at all.
It's going to be a long day for Tigers hitters if Quintana continues to get this fastball called a strike by the home plate umpire, Dan Iasonia. That ball is up and it is out, and Davis should be standing on first base.
Ooh, right on the edge, according to Mr. Foxtrot. Clearly, Davis thought he had ball 4. So Dan Iasonia rings him up, and here is Ian Kinsler.
And Quintana will live at the top of the strike zone with the fastball once he gets ahead of some of the right-handed hitters. He likes to get the right-handers to chase that pitch.
Kinsler into shallow left field. De Asa is on the charge, and there are 2 gone.
Let's take a look at the starting defense here this afternoon, presented by Tim Hortons. De Asa, Danks, Viciedo in the outfield. Alexi Ramirez already 71 assists this season at the shortstop position, which is the most of all players.
Here is Miguel Cabrera, batting with the bases empty and 2 outs. Oh, and 1 on Miguel. Only 1 defender to the right of second base, so they play him to pull.
This is something that American League opponents just started this year. I can't remember any time that Miguel has had our uniform on where they have shaded him this heavily to one side of the infield. And it's not just the White Sox are doing it. We've seen a couple of teams already do this year.
Well, they're clearly playing the most recent statistics because Miguel at his best would not be played this way. Here's the 1-2. Inside and high, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, here's a reason why they might be doing it. I mean, he's gone in that direction quite a bit this year, and he hasn't gone to right field as efficient as he has in the past.
Here's the 2-2. Hit in the ground and smothered at first by Abreu. He'll win the race to the bag.
Nearly beat that shit.
3 unassisted. Tigers go 1-2-3. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. Ram Trucks. Ram 1500 is Motor Trend's 2014 Truck of the Year and first ever back-to-back champion. And by Sargento Shredded Cheese. Taste the real difference. A little overcast and cloudy today here at the ballpark. The Tigers and White Sox wrapping up a 4-game series. No scores. We go to the second, and Big Adam Dunn leads it off. It'll be Dunn, Viciedo, and Ramirez facing the right-hander Max Scherzer. Guess what? They're playing a shift. This time, swung around to the right side against the left-handed batting Dunn. Ball inside from Max. 1 ball, 1 strike. Adam Dunn a couple of nights ago snapped an 0 for 13 with his home run in the 9th inning. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Driven deep into right center field. Way back. This ball is up, and that ball is gone. Boy, did he hit the stuffings out of that one. Scherzer has given up the home run. Adam Dunn has just hit his 5th of the year.
These White Sox, the last few days, they have been flexing their muscles. Dunn has gone deep twice. Nothing cheap about either of his home runs. And Jose Abreu, their very talented Cuban defector at first base, has gone deep twice as well. That's not where you pitch Dunn. That ball is down and in, and that's where he does his damage. The Tigers have had a tremendous amount of success since Dunn has put on that White Sox uniform by throwing him fastballs up in the strike zone, not down there.
28th home run of the season for Chicago as an offense, second only to the Angels in the American League. Dunn hits his 2nd in the series. There's a cut and a miss by Viciedo. Viciedo leads the league in hitting. He's at 354. Brian Halladay behind the dish today, catching Max Scherzer. White Sox still have the top 2 hitters. Viciedo first, Alexi Ramirez second. High fly ball. Shallow left field. A shortstop going back. That's Danny Worth. He's going a long way to make the catch. First out of the inning. Here's Alexi Ramirez. Been a pretty good series for Alexi. 5 for 14.
Loves the first pitch. If it's too close, he can do some damage with it. Ramirez, as a matter of fact, had a game this year where he had 4 at-bats and he saw only 4 pitches during the course of the entire game, and he hit a game-winning home run in the 9th inning against the Cleveland Indians to win the game. 4 pitches and 4 at-bats.
1 ball, 1 strike. He couldn't hold up on that last pitch. Alexi with 4 home runs, just 2 shy of his season total for 2013. Showing bunt now, and he takes a strike. Well, he could be a very dynamic player. Last year was a bit of a downgrade in his power numbers.
He is playing like he wants to make the All-Star team this year. That's how good a start he's off to.
Got him, strike 3, and Scherzer caught him looking.
Well located fastball at 93. Alexi was looking for something soft. And a nice call by Brian Holiday. Executed perfectly by Max.
And Ramirez knew it. 2 gone. That is the 2nd strikeout. 1 in each inning now for Max.
That is something else that in the last couple of years Max has done very well, and that's throwing that fastball away from the arm side on the outside black to the right-handed hitters. Early in his career, because he's got natural tailing action because of his arm slot, when he would try to go outside to the righties, that ball would tail back over the heart of the plate, but he's able to get it away from them now.
Here's De Aza with 2 outs. Ball outside, 2-0. Well, we've often talked about Max and his delivery. It's not the smoothest or free-flowing delivery, but boy, he has really mastered it. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and he missed outside. 3 balls and no strikes.
Fastball mid-90s, real good changeup right around 81 to 84. Curveball, good slider. 4 really good pitches.
The strikeout to walk ratio for Max coming in was, as you might expect, outstanding. 34 strikeouts against 7 walks, and he has 2 more punch outs in this contest today. Here's the 3-1. Slap to left field on a line. That'll drop. Base hit.
That's what they would love to see De Aza do a whole lot more of. But if he does take advantage of the fact that he's a good line drive hitter, that batting average will get above 162, where he started the contest at.
So it's our first look now at Gordon Beckham, who is back in the lineup, was on the disabled list with a bad oblique.
Going to have to watch De Aza. With 2 outs, he'll be trying to get down in the scoring position, but Max does a marvelous job at limiting the amount of stolen bases against him while he's on the mound.
Foul tip into the glove. 0-1 on Beckham.
Beckham told me that he hurt his oblique about halfway through spring training this year, hitting off the batting tee.
Really?
Hitting off the batting tee.
Not sure I've heard that before.
And he said he yanked it pretty good. I mean, this is his first action right now. He also told me that when he started his rehab, he went to Birmingham and he kind of retweaked it again. So they had to slow him down again. He flew to Chicago last night thinking that he was going to meet his teammates when they got back to Chicago today, but they called him last night and told him, we need you to come to Detroit. You're playing tomorrow.
Here's the 0-1. Well, the initial plan was for Beckham to return back to the lineup this weekend, but that was bumped up.
Gillespie has some type of a bone bruise issue. He was scheduled to start today.
And the runner bluffs on 0-2. It's outside.
First at bat to the year. And you got to go up against the reigning Cy Young Award winner of a season ago.
I was thinking the same thing. Well, he appeared in 12 games with Birmingham in his rehab stint. He batted just .163, but for veterans, it's more about getting back and getting some at bats, getting back into playing shape. And here he is back up here. The 1-2, swing and a miss, and Scherzer dispatches him with his third strikeout of the ball game. 1 run and the home run by Dunn. Tigers coming up in the bottom of the second. Sox have the lead 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the second. Our predictions for today's Fox Sports Detroit Player of the Game, presented by the McDonald's new Bacon Clubhouse Burger, are I've got Rajay Davis today.
And Torrey Hunter is my choice.
And Justin going with Max Scherzer this afternoon. Those are our selections. See the final results. Tigers Live postgame coming up after the telecast today. So here is Martinez. Victor will get things started here in the second. Martinez, Hunter, and Jackson facing the left-hander Quintana. In for a strike, 0-1 on Victor.
Yeah, this morning was an optional batting practice for the Tigers players, and most of the veterans elected to hit inside in the batting cages, but Victor Martinez took the liberty of getting some extra swings on the field before the contest today.
Well, Martinez last night with his single in the 9th inning recorded his 1,500th hit in the major leagues.
It's quite a milestone.
He finished the ball game 2 out of 4. Now Quintana ready with the 1-1. Popped up. Shallow right field. Viciedo coming in. First out of the second, and 4 straight retired by Quintana. Here's Torrey Hunter. Torrey's hit safely in his last 3, batting .259. Is that a double in the series? 3 out of 9. And Quintana pours in a fastball strike, 0-1. Quintana spent 4 years in the Yankees organization, never pitched above A ball for the Yanks. White Sox signed him as a free agent, and he's turned into a pretty good option in their rotation.
His fastball gets up to probably 93, top fastball, but he hides the baseball so well in his delivery that the right-handed hitters have a difficult time of picking up the fastball from Quintana, especially when he gets it above the belt buckle.
1-1 is skied in the air to right again at Viciedo. 2 gone. When you talk about the left-handers, since 2013 in the American League, this is where he ranks in several different categories. Pretty good. And you would think, Rod, that if the White Sox get any sort of pitching this year, they're going to be awfully tough.
With the way that they're swinging the bats right now, and I don't think it's a fluke. I think Viciedo probably not going to be hitting for much of an average like he is right now, but he's got some serious pop in that bat, and he's going to have a good offensive year along with Abreu. Ramirez looks like he's primed to have another really good season. And really all you need is a few more contributors to go along with other guys having great years, and it makes for a really nice offensive season. And if you get this kind of momentum going early in the season, it's only going to bode well for you.
Yeah, no doubt. And they've been doing this with, as we mentioned last night, several key injuries on this team. Although Beckham is back today. That's fouled back out of play.
Just about every fastball that Quintana has thrown to the right-handers, they've been a little tardy on it. Velocity right around 90 to 91, but it's something in his delivery that allows him to hide the baseball very effectively, and hitters don't get a really good look at him.
Jackson waiting on a 1-2. Checked it up high. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Nice job of laying off that elevated fastball. The Tigers are well aware of the fact that Quintana will try to do that all afternoon long.
Jackson batting .310. Here's the 2-2. Line to right center field. That ball is going to get down and get by Viciedo all the way to the wall. This has triple written all over it. Jackson is on his way to third. He is in there with no throw. It's a 2-out triple. First hit of the ball game for Detroit.
And Viciedo known more for his offense and his defense. This would have been a double had he taken the right angle to get to the ball, but he simply tried to cut it off, and the ball was able to scoot by him, and that turned a double into a triple for Austin Jackson.
2-out, 3-bagger is the first Tigers hit of the day. And we'll see if Castellanos can cash him in. Double and an RBI in the series for Nick. Ball 1 high.
Shortstop Alexi Ramirez really playing Castellanos in the hole at the shortstop position. There's a lot of room up the middle if Castellanos is able to exploit the shift in their defense.
He went fishing that time. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nick right now is third among American League rookies with 9 RBIs in the early going here. Right back up the middle into center field. That is a 2-out knock to tie this game. And he has had a knack of doing that on this homestand.
He has exceptional hand-eye coordination. He laid off the fastball that was up. He swung through one fastball up, and then he got another fastball that was kind of up in the zone. But look at him pull his hands in close to his body and barrel this ball up. I mean, his hands are literally in front of his body when he makes contact with the ball. Just kind of served it up the middle.
10th RBI for Castellanos. Two-out triple comes around to score as Jackson touches home. Here's Brian Holliday now. Brian making his first start since April the 19th. When he got a start against the Angels, in fact, was 2 out of 4 that day. Serving as the backup to Alex Avila, who gets the afternoon off. Tried to check, but he went, says home plate umpire Dan Iasonia. 1 ball, 1 strike on Holliday. White Sox took the lead in the top of the inning on the long home run by Dunn. Castellanos has tied it up. 1-2. .30 now for Quintana. 19 strikes, 11 balls. They'll get to the backstop. 1-2. The count remains on the right-handed batting Brian Holiday. Should he reach, you've got the number 9 hitter Danny Worth, who's finally gotten a start here today. Andrew Romine has been playing so well as short that Brad Ausmus has stuck with him, but you got to get Worth in there sooner or later, and Danny starts today. And the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Flowers throws down to complete the strikeout. Tigers settle for 1 on the 2-out hit by Castellanos. Tigers baseball today presented by Bell Tire. The third time now for you to tweet your photo using hashtag Detroit Fan Photo for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming game broadcast. That is hashtag Detroit Fan Photo. It's brought to you by AT&T. Clutch 2-out hit by Castellanos ties this game. And Tyler Flowers will lead off now for Chicago. It'll be Flowers, Danks, and Semien facing the right-hander Max Scherzer. Flowers is 0 for 6 in the series. He looks at strike 1 from Max.
They've been doing a lot of that to Flowers. Lots of really good breaking balls thrown to him to start him off and to finish him off.
Here's the 0-1. Make it 0-2. Max already has 3 strikeouts in this contest.
Max has made 4 starts this year, and he's had at least 7 strikeouts in all 4 of his starts.
Lifted on the line to center field, base hit. An 0-2 single for Flowers. Time for a game break now. We head back to the studio. Here's Matt Shepard. All right, Shep, thanks. Boy, this Central Division is separated by just a game and a half from top to bottom.
Michael Brantley has about 20 RBIs this year.
He's a good player. Really good player. Jordan Danks the batter. Lofting one in the air to left field. On the move is Davis. Rajay going to have to stretch out. And he held on. Wow. I didn't know that he was going to have to dive for that ball.
It appeared to be a routine play. But I guess it wasn't.
And there's not a whole lot of wind to speak of, but Davis cleanly caught that ball. Maxwell says thank you. Here's Marcus Semien. And Scherzer slings one outside, fastball away, 1-0. Semien a strikeout victim back in the first, batting .232. He is helped by the fact that he can play several different infield positions. He can play second and third, which you have seen him play both of in this series. Can also play short. The runner was on the move, and it's grounded foul.
And he'll get a chance to play all those positions that you talked about if he continues to do this. First career grand slam in the career of Semien last night. As a matter of fact, all 3 of his home runs this year have come very late in games for the White Sox, where it's either given them the lead or it's really helped them win the game.
Yeah, he's had 3 go-ahead home runs in the 7th inning and beyond this year. Last night's, of course, the game winner, the grand slam. Here's the 1-1. Slicing away from the right fielder, Hunter.
It's going to be a very important year for Gordon Beckham, the former #1 draft choice of the Chicago White Sox, who was a stellar defender, but offensively, Beckham's taken some steps back the last couple of years. And if Semien continues to show that he can get it done, he's going to get some reps. Gillespie, their third baseman, not playing today, having a good offensive year. So Robin Ventura may have to make some decisions if Beckham doesn't have a good offensive season.
The 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
They also have that kid Garcia, who is a switch hitter, who's got some speed, made some nice defensive plays last night.
Leury Garcia was a difference maker last night. Stole a bag, singled, scored. The defense you talked about. Pretty good night. Now the 2-2. Fly ball right field. Here comes Torrey. Flowers holding, 2 gone. That'll bring up Jose Abreu. Torrey's still at it out there in right field with those fakes, isn't he?
Yep. Flowers wasn't buying it, though.
Threw up his right hands and his left, actually, as if to say, I can't find it.
And Max was able to get Jose Abreu out his first time up on the very first pitch. He grounded out to Kinsler. But he's fun to watch. This guy here has got some serious power in the bat.
Hit one to dead center last night. His 2nd home run of the series. He did strike out 3 times last night, though. Scherzer gave up the home run to Dunn in the 2nd. Tigers tied it up with the Castellanos hit. Flowers being chased back. Straight up the middle for Abreu. His hits by direction. Swing and a miss.
That's what they've been doing a lot of to him the last couple of days, throwing him breaking balls that he has swung through and missed. He hasn't missed his fastballs. There's a slider grip there. Real nice pitch thrown by Max.
Last season it was Yasiel Puig who got a lot of the headlines for the Dodgers this year. The Cuban defector Abreu getting a lot of the early headlines for his mammoth power.
There are some Cuban-born players that have some serious pop in their bat that are playing in the United States these days. Abreu would be one. Cespedes would be one. Viciado another one. Puig. These guys have got unbelievable power.
And Abreu has showcased his power in this series. Here's the 1-1. 1-2 now on Jose Abreu.
That's where you want to pitch him. You want to pitch him on the inside part of the plate, right around the belt buckle. You want to make sure he doesn't extend his arms.
Puig has been a more flamboyant player over in the National League with LA. They say that Abreu is more of a quiet guy, goes about his business every day in a professional manner.
He appears to be that way.
Checked it. Did not go. They will appeal.
Here's the hot and cold zones on Jose Abreu. You can see those hot zones. Those are pitches that are up and away from him where he can extend his arms. You can see on the inner third, he doesn't really like the ball around the belt buckle or higher, but he does like it down and in. That's where he's hitting .333. So he can be pitched to.
And Max again stayed away, but Abreu would not bite. 3-2.
Well, Max certainly has the ability and the confidence to throw any of his 4 pitches right here to Abreu. The key for him is just don't make a mistake with whatever you throw.
Runner will go on 3-2. Flowers on the move. And tapped foul at home plate.
And another thing about Abreu is the fact that for a guy that is as big and strong and physical as he is, he doesn't really take a massive swing. It's kind of like Miguel Cabrera. Very seldom do you see Miggy overswing like a lot of other big guys.
Swing and a miss. Scherzer comes back to strike him out. That'll be 4 now for Max. No runs. A leadoff single is stranded 2.5 in the books.
Between Scherzer and Abreu, our bell tire pitch by pitch. Sliders, changeups, and fastballs is what he got. He finally finished him off with a 94-mile-per-hour fastball on the inner third, right around the belt buckle. We showed you the hot and cold zone. That's one of the cold zones of Abreu, and Max was able to exploit that weakness.
Tigers a run on 2 hits, and for Chicago a run on 3 hits. Danny Worth will start it off now for Detroit. Worth, Davis, and Kinsler facing the left-hander Quintana. And Danny looks at a strike, 0-1. Another good spring training this year for Danny Worth, but he was sent down to AAA right at the end of spring camp. And he's back up with the big club. 302 this spring with 10 RBIs. It's a second straight year now that Danny has had a really good spring camp, only to be disappointed at the end. Here are the spring numbers overall. But as Brad Ausmus told him at the end of spring camp, it's a good chance he'll be up with the big club, and here he is. Ball high, 1-2. Worth has been in the Tigers organization for a while.
He can play all 3 infield positions, with the exception of first base, but he can probably play over there as well. But he'll play second, short, third.
Vicieto's been busy so far today. Another fly ball to right.
A lot of the right-handed hitters a little tardy on that 90-mile-per-hour fastball that Quintana is featuring today.
Well, Detroit Tigers 6-game flex plans are on sale now for as little as $110. You can see 6 Tigers games of your choice. Call 313-471-BALL or check it out online, tigers.com. The 6-game flex plan. Here's Rajai Davis. Davis looks at strike 1. He struck out in the first inning, 0 for 1. He thought it was ball 4, a borderline pitch that he did not get. Here's another fly ball to right field. Vicieto circling on this one, makes a basket catch. So that'll be the 4th put out already for the right fielder Vicieto.
He doesn't make it look easy out there, does he?
No. I was about to say the same thing. It always seems to be a bit of an adventure.
As long as you drive in more than you let in, you're all right at this level.
Here's Kinsler. And Vicieto has done his share of driving in runs. Off to a good start offensively. Ball 1 high to Kinsler. Ian trying to get it going now. He is 0 for 1 in this one. And Kinsler last night was kept in check. Was 0 for 4. Quintana now with 40 total in this game so far. Kinsler sends a ground ball up the middle. Ramirez can't get it. Base hit. 2-out single for the Tigers. They had a 2-out hit back in the second as well.
Alexi Ramirez, the shortstop, continues to shade all of the Tigers right-handed batters in that shortstop hole. Therefore, that ball able to scoot right back through the box. Tigers need to get ready to hit the fastball. Of the 41 pitches that Quintana has thrown, 75% of those have been fastballs.
Cabrera bounced out his first time up. Swing and a miss. Cabrera in his career has hit .290 lifetime against Chicago pitching, 24 home runs over the years. Kinsler stretching his lead at first.
The White Sox actually were very close to making a deal for Cabrera as well before the Tigers were able to acquire him. And Ozzie Guillen was their manager at the time, and of course Ozzie Guillen also was very familiar with Miguel Cabrera because he coached third base in Florida when Miggy was a rookie. So he could very easily be wearing the White Sox uniform than the Tigers uniform that he's been wearing for a number of years.
That'll get away from Flowers. Kinsler trying to take the extra base, and he is safe at second. Wild pitch moves him up.
One thing that Brad Ausmus continues to harp on as far as his team is concerned, take the extra base. Whenever they give it to you, that's a ball in the dirt that Flowers does a nice job to get to and makes a good throw down to second base. Ball just not held on to by Gordon Beckham. And Brad Ausmus said we want to take 90 feet on base hits. We want to go 180 feet. Wants the team to be aggressive.
He has on several different occasions used the term keeping the pressure on the defense. Sometimes it'll work out, sometimes it won't. Here's the 1-1. Straightens him up. 2 balls, 1 strike. The Tigers already are well above their average number of stolen bases. That's just all part of the aggressive nature that this Tigers offense has this year. Quintana ready with a 2-1. Ground ball right side, base hit. Kinsler around third. Here he comes. He'll score. So the wild pitch proving costly for Chicago, and the Tigers have the lead. 11 RBIs now for Cabrera.
Well, we talked about the shift that they are playing on Miguel, that we don't see a lot of other teams doing so, but you can see Beckham right here at the top of your screen. That's the second baseman. Miguel simply takes something away from him and finds that hole on the right side of the infield to get himself an RBI. For a guy that's won 3 batting titles, it is fascinating to me that you would overshift him in any one direction.
Well, and I'm wondering if they're just overreacting to the way he has hit the ball early this season compared to what his full body of work, really. They are doing just that.
You would think that they would go with the full body of work, especially the way that Miggy has started to swing the bat the last couple of days.
Well, I would imagine that'll correct itself, won't it?
Yeah.
As he continues to swing like this.
Like the stock market, your portfolio. It'll correct itself.
Sometimes it goes left, sometimes it goes right.
And a lot of times it goes up.
Or down. 1 ball and no strikes on Victor Martinez. Checked it, strike called, and it's 1-1 now on Victor. Martinez flied to right field his first time. That was back in the second. Tigers have gone ahead with a pair of 2-out runs in this game. Flared foul down the right field line. 1-2 on Martinez. Tigers have 2 runs, 4 hits, and the White Sox a run on 3 hits. Tigers will jump on the airplane after this one today, and they'll start the long road trip after this lengthy homestand. Bunch of games against the Central in this stretch right now for Detroit. 12 in a row versus teams within their division. Now the 1-2. Fouled away. Should Martinez reach? Torrey Hunter waiting on deck. Quintana now is about to throw his 50th pitch of this game. Here it is. Low and away. 2-2 on Victor Martinez. Quintana last year was pretty good in the month of September. In fact, he pitched some of his best baseball in September. 6 starts, had an ERA of 2.80, and you always love seeing guys finish up strong. And the 2-2 in the air, center field. Jordan Danks is under it, and that is that for Detroit. Another 2-out run for the Tigers. RBI single by Cabrera. Scores Kinsler. Tigers up by a run. Park, it is 2-1 in favor of the Tigers. They've gotten a run in each of the last 2 innings in support of Max Scherzer. The only blemish on the mark for Max is this guy right here. Adam Dunn hit a solo homer to start things off in the second. That is it for a strike. Dunn's 5th of the year, 2nd in the series, and Dunn now has 445 career home runs. 0-2. Scherzer has punched out 4 in this game. Max's season high is 10 strikeouts 2 starts ago in San Diego. Ball high, 1-2. Low, 2 balls 2 strikes on Dunn. He is 38th all time in the home run list in Major League Baseball, and 9 different times in his career he's hit 30 or more. Fouled off, he stays alive.
Yeah, Max threw a fastball down and in, and that's the happy zone of Adam Dunn, and he absolutely killed it. He has 2 home runs in the series. You've got to get that fastball above the belt buckle against him. He'll swing at it, and he won't make contact with it most times when it's around 93, 94.
Ooh, not a good looking swing there, and down he goes.
There you go, 93.
5 strikeouts for Scherzer.
It's almost like he was fooled by this heater.
Yeah. Wasn't fully committed with that swing.
Max throws a lot of off-speed pitches these days, just as Justin Verlander throws a lot of off-speed pitches these days. But with 2 strikes, you cannot get caught looking for something off-speed, or you will look as awkward as Dunn just looked there on that fastball.
Ciedo popped up his first time.
Nicknamed Tank.
It's appropriate, isn't it?
It sure is.
On the list of appropriate nicknames, that's right up there.
Yeah, hard body.
Cuban native, 5'11", 240. Wave and a miss, 2-1. Scherzer gave up the home run to J.B. Shuck in his last start against the Angels. That began the ball game, and then pretty much after that, shut it down.
It was almost like it made him angry.
Soft liner to left, that's down, a base hit and more. It's going to roll all the way to the wall, and the Tank is rumbling to second base with a 1-out 2-base hit. Another extra base hit in this series for Chicago.
You love to get yourself in fastball predictable counts. It's 2-1, and that's exactly what Viciedo gets. He spanks that ball to the wall in left field for a stand-up double.
Here is Alexei Ramirez. Strikeout victim back in the second. Alexei batting .348 now. Wave and a miss.
That's a good pitch. You know Alexei's going to be swinging at the first pitch, so there's no need in really giving him a strike. Disguise it to look like a strike, and he'll give you a swing.
60 now for Max as you scope out his breakdown. Bouncing ball to third, foul. Well, the Bernstein advantage brings you the pitcher-batter matchup. Max Scherzer has the Bernstein advantage today. Here are the career numbers for Alexei Ramirez against Scherzer.
And that is no small sampling.
Ooh.
43 at bats.
Ooh. Not good. But he's got a chance to drive in a run here. Down on the count of 1-2.
And he can't make a mistake here for Max. You're ahead of Alexei. No balls, 2 strikes.
Just got a piece of it to stay alive. Ramirez began the season with at least 1 hit in 17 straight games. It was the longest hitting streak to start a season in White Sox history. And one of the real reasons he's off to this really fast start, .348 batting average. But Alexei has also hit over 400 with men in scoring position. And again the 0-2. Gets a piece of that one to stay alive. White Sox have put up 15 extra base hits in this series, including a handful of really long home runs. Tigers today playing for the split. Low and away, 1-2. Ramirez a good job that time of not leaving the strike zone. Checked in, he went. Strike 3 called by Dan Iasonia. 6 strikeouts now for Max, and his dominance continues against Ramirez.
Clearly went too far.
Here's De Aza. Single back in the second for De Aza. It's been a struggle for De Aza. I mean, this guy had a pretty good year last year. Hit 17 home runs, hit a solid .264.
He poses a threat from time to time. Here's a real nice change piece that he swings at on the first offering from Max. But Max has a base open, so he needs to make sure that he doesn't make a mistake here to De Aza. He has 9 runs driven in this year. Gordon Beckham in the on-deck circle playing his first game of the season.
And Scherzer struck out Beckham back in the second. It's one of those starts for De Aza that's going to be really difficult for him to dig out of the hole. Average right now at 174. One is outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. There's Beckham on deck. Each ball club with 4 hits this afternoon. Tigers have a 2-1 lead. ball high, 3-1. One thing the White Sox have proved to be in this series is pretty resilient. Even the game they lost, they made that 9th inning comeback.
They are letting everyone know in the Central, don't forget about us. They have 11 victories coming into play today, which is more than any other team in the Central. As we speak, the Tigers have won 10 games this year.
Here's the 3-1. And he lost him. Ball 4 to De Aza.
That's a smart job of pitching by Max. He really didn't want to give in to De Aza, even though the batting average is very low at 174. You've got the base open. You do not want the left-hander to beat you, not when you have this right-hander who is not fresh right now.
Here's Gordon Beckham. Breaking ball, he swings right through at 0-1. Beckham last year hit .267. Home run numbers were down to 5 last season. He's got a couple of runners aboard here. Beckham last year had to battle through injuries as well. And now he's down to the count 0-2.
That slider that Max is throwing, Beckham not even seeing it. He has thrown him 2 in the exact same area. And Beckham have missed both of them by a pretty good margin. What's the chances of him getting another one of those right here? I'd say pretty good.
1,000% maybe. The 0-2. Left that one over the plate. Fastball though from Max, and it's fouled back.
That fastball was just to set up the next breaking ball, but that's one of the things that makes Max so good, and it's one of the reasons why his 38 wins since the beginning of 2012 are more than any other pitcher in the big leagues. He can get you out a number of different ways.
Swung on and missed, struck him out. Came back with a fastball, threw it by him. 7 strikeouts already for Max Scherzer. The White Sox strand a pair. Scherzer picks up a couple of more strikeouts. Photo of the game. Tweet your photo to hashtag Detroit Fan Photo for a chance to be shown in an upcoming broadcast. It is brought to you as always by our good friends at AT&T, and today we feature Angela at Angela the Pirate. She's got a photo there with Torrey Hunter.
Looks like a selfie there.
Nicely done. There's your hashtag Detroit Fan Photo, and maybe you will be featured on an upcoming broadcast. Tigers batting now in the bottom of the 4th. There's a strike called on Torrey Hunter. Speaking of Torrey. And then Jackson and then Castellanos. Swing and a miss. 0-2 now on Hunter, who flied to right field back in the second.
Quintana will throw more changeups to the right-handed batters than he will to left-handers, but that's pretty much the norm with all left-handers that have a good changeup. They won't throw it very often to the left-handers. He also has that fastball that is topped out at about 92. He's got a cutter and a curveball.
Quintana, for the first time in his career last year, threw 200 innings. Seems to be the mark that most pitchers shoot for. Tried to get to that 200 level. There's a wave and a miss. Torrey unable to hold up, and down he goes. It'll be the third strikeout for Mr. Quintana. Here's Jackson, who got it started with a 2-out triple in the second. He scored on the hit by Castellanos. Both of the Tigers' runs today scoring with 2 outs. Jackson takes ball 1 high. One and 1 the count on Austin Jackson. Quintana's last start came in Texas. He lost that ball game and left the game trailing 5-1. Gave up 5 runs in 5 innings. Ball outside.
Doing a much better job here this afternoon against the Tigers than he did against Texas, in mixing up all of his pitches. Fastballs inside, good changeups away, and an occasional breaking ball. He was too fastball happy 5 days ago.
In the air to straightaway center. Dank started back. Now he's going to come in and dive to make the play.
It's the second consecutive day that we have seen Danks break back on a ball that Jackson has hit to center field and come in and make a diving play.
Danks almost misread it, but was able to make up for it. Here's Castellanos. Singled through the middle with 2 outs in his last at bat to drive in his 10th run of the year. Bouncing ball left side in the hole. Ramirez. And a backhanded scoop at first base by Abreu to end the inning. Tigers go 1-2-3. On to the 5th inning we go. To you by the Sam Bernstein Law Firm, official legal services sponsor of Fox Sports Detroit, and by AT&T, mobilizing your world. Turning into a nice day here at the ballpark. Sun is now starting to peek through the clouds. That's a good thing as we go to the top of the fifth. 2-1 is our score. The Tigers have the lead. Max Scherzer back to the hill. How about this? 7 or more strikeouts in all 5 starts this year. He's got 7 today. Only the second Tiger since 1914.
7 strikeouts through 4 innings today for Max.
Yikes, Mickey Lolich. Here's Tyler Flowers. Flowers, then Danks, and then Semien. Scherzer struck out the side in the 4th inning, although the White Sox had a couple of base runners. 0-1 on Flowers.
He started Flowers off with a breaking ball. And Flowers' first time up. This time he starts him off with a fastball for a strike.
Max's career right-handers have hit him at a 220 clip. And that one is down low. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, he has always dominated right-handed batters, but last year with that new improved curveball, his numbers against left-handers took a drastic dip as well.
Scherzer, of course, last year won the Cy Young, becoming the 4th Tigers pitcher in their illustrious history to have a Cy Young winner. McClain did it twice. Willie Hernandez, Verlander, of course, and then Max last year.
There are many that had always believed that the light,
that's a base hit to left,
would come on for Max. Since the Diamondbacks drafted him as a #1 draft choice, he has always had a plus fastball and a really good changeup, but he had a difficult time of kind of repeating his delivery and throwing consistent strikes. But there are a lot of people that felt like if he could ever somehow throw consistent strikes, he could do exactly what he's done the last 2 years.
Here's that list of Tiger Cy Young winners. McClain did it twice, 68, 69. Danks looks at a ball outside, 1-0. The year Verlander did it a couple of years ago. Of course, he won the MVP as well. Modest lead at first by Flowers. He's 2 for 2, by the way, and he'll draw a lob of a throw.
Verlander is one of 2 players in the history of the game to win a Rookie of the Year, a Cy Young, and an MVP. Don Newcomb is the only other pitcher to accomplish that. Now that's small company.
A pretty short list there.
We saw Don Newcomb when we were on the West Coast. Well, he walks around Dodger Stadium dressed to the 9.
Doesn't he, though?
Clean every day.
Total of 80 now for Max, 50 of which are strikes. Danks waits on a 2-0. Swings right through a 2-1. Well, Scherzer, like Verlander, do some of their best work in this ballpark, and Max over the years now here at Comerica, 36-12. Waiting on deck, Marcus Semien. The 2-1. 2-2 on Danks. Danks was actually drafted twice by the Chicago White Sox. Out of high school the first time, he decided to go play college ball at the University of Texas. And then he was drafted out of Texas as well. Younger brother of their left-handed starter John Danks. The 2-2 inside, 3-2 now on Danks.
Maybe a little bit too risky here for Robin Ventura, the manager of the White Sox, to start the catcher Tyler Flowers from first base. If he does and Danks throws him out, then Holliday will throw him out at second. But we'll see what he's thinking.
Runner holds. Good call. Swing and a miss. Down he goes.
Speaking of good calls, here is the Call Sam call of the day, and it was last half inning with a runner on second base. De Aza was the batter. Max clearly pitched around De Aza, even on the batting average at 164 to get to Gordon Beckham. He was able to strike Beckham out on 3 pitches. So that is the Sam Bernstein call of the game this afternoon.
So Scherzer now will attack Marcus Semien here. That is his 8th strikeout of this afternoon. Max gave up the home run to Dunn in the second, but nothing after that. Tigers got 1 in the second, 1 in the third. They lead 2-1 here in the 5th.
And last time this combination was up, Semien in the batter's box, Flowers on first base, Robin Ventura put a hit and run on. The way that Max is pitching here today and having his way against White Sox batters, if you're Robin, you have to try to help your team out by putting on a hit and run, trying to move the defenders around, because it doesn't appear that Max is going to give up any 3 or 4 hits in 1 inning.
Gave up a double and a walk in the 4th, but no damage. Here's the 1-0. Big rip there by Semien, fouled it straight back. 1-1.
Like Semien's bat speed, not real big in stature, but he's got a quick bat and he's got a little pop in that bat too.
A couple of doubles and a grand slam in this series. Got the tying run at first base here in the 5th. Swing and a miss. Most RBI among American League, or among rookies in the American League, Abreu, Semien, and Castellanos. So top 3 are in this series. Here's the 1-2. Got a piece of it, staying alive.
If Abreu keeps performing the way that he has performed in the first 3 weeks of the 2014 season, not only is he going to be in that Rookie of the Year conversation, he's going to be in the MVP conversation.
And again the 1-2. Ooh, we tried to dot the outside corner and he just missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Max about to throw his 90th pitch of the afternoon.
That's what happens when you rack up lots of strikeouts. That pitch count goes up.
Ground ball left side. Castellanos can't get it into left field. Advanced Flowers to second base. Semien has his first hit today. Now the White Sox have something going here in the 5th.
And it looked like Max decided to throw Semien a 2-2 changeup. You can see the grip. That is the circle change. And Semien does a nice job of reaching out and getting that ball and hitting it past Castellanos.
Max has had 5 3-ball counts, 1 in each inning. He's got Abreu now with 2 on and 1 out. He's gotten Abreu twice in this game, a ground out and a strikeout.
Max has done a lot of that today against Abreu, and Verlander kind of started the pattern last night, 2 nights ago. And Drew Smyly also quite a few breaking balls to Abreu.
way outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Abreu wears an odd number. It's number 79, and he wears that number because when he played in Cuba, his mother selected that number for him because he wanted Jose to stand out. Well, his bat is making him stand out regardless of the number he wears.
His stature, too. He's a big body guy.
He is. Here's the 1-1. Checked it, but he went. 1-2.
Back-to-back sliders thrown to Abreu, and then Max comes back with a really nice changeup that he located beautifully on the outside portion of the plate.
It seems to be an indication of the type of stuff Max has today when you see as many check swings as we've had.
Yeah. Remember that cold zone of Abreu is the fastball inside, but you got to get it around the belt buckle. He will swing through some of those. That's where they're going.
Got him, strike 3, and Abreu is caught looking.
Boy, did they pitch him tough, and boy, have they been pitching him tough the last couple of days. Let's take a look at how they attacked Abreu this time around. First pitch, breaking ball down. Max, for the most part, stays on the outer portion of home plate the entire pitch sequence until the final pitch. He freezes him with a fastball at the knees inside. Generous call, too, there.
It was. Here's Adam Dunn. His home run back in the second remains the only run so far for Chicago. Want to know on Dunn. 5 home runs now, 11 driven in this year. Slow check right back to the mound. And Max going to pitch himself out of a jam here in the 5th inning. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 men left. Tigers baseball this afternoon presented by Bell Tire.
America Bank game summary. The White Sox got on the board first. It was a solo shot by Adam Dunn, his 5th, but the Tigers, they countered. Castellanos drove in. Jackson with a base hit up the middle with 2 outs, and Miguel Cabrera beat the shift and drove in the 2nd run for the Tigers this afternoon. A breaking ball away from him off Quintana, their starter.
So Quintana back out there, and he will face the bottom of the Tigers lineup, number 8 hitter. Brian Holiday will lead it off, followed by Danny Worth, and then Rajay Davis. 2 runs on 4 hits for Detroit, a run on 6 hits for the visiting White Sox. First pitch fouled off, 0-1.
All off speed pitches thrown here today to Holiday, and that's one of the things that's very difficult for a guy that doesn't get a chance to play every day. you have a difficult time of picking up the off-speed pitches. You have no problem with the fastballs, but it's the off-speed stuff that is troublesome for you.
The 0-1.
Because you're not seeing much of it. In BP, all you're seeing is fastballs. You're not seeing curveballs and changeups.
Two and one the count. Quintana, based on his really strong year last year, despite all the no decisions, earned himself a 5-year contract on March the 24th. Right at the end of spring training, they signed him to that deal. He'll bounce that one in, and the count goes to 3-1 now on Holiday.
Starting to see a whole lot of bats in the big leagues these days. Guys are just 1 or 2 years of a major league experience, getting bought out of all their arbitration years and even a couple of years of their free agency.
Well, the deal that he signed also includes a couple of club option years, 2019 and 20.
Sounds like a club friendly deal, but at the same time, if you're Quintana, you're getting security for life.
Maybe the ultimate club friendly deal was the one that Evan Longoria signed with the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah, he outperformed that quick in about a year.
Yeah. Here's the 3-2. Fly ball, right field. Viciedo circles under it. One out. Well, you can see the Tigers take on the Minnesota Twins on Saturday, May 10th at 1:08. First 10,000 fans receive a free Detroit Tigers 2014-2015 wall calendar. If you'd like ticket information, phone 866-66-TIGER or check it out online, tigers.com. Got to have your Tigers calendar. Here's Danny Worth. Worth flying out to right field his first time up.
Distribution of outs thrown by Quintana today. A heavy dose of fly balls. And most of those fly balls to right field, Viciedo.
Boy, look at Ramirez from his knees. Got him at first base. No, he dropped it. They're going to call him safe. Originally signaled out, but now they say safe because Abreu could not hold on to it. Ausmus was ready to charge out there.
Outstanding play by Alexi Ramirez, who committed 22 errors last year at the shortstop position, but this year playing tremendous shortstop. Nice job by C.B. Buckner staying with that call at first base.
We had it in his glove, and then it just rolled out.
I guess the glove, I mean, the ground possibly aided in the ball coming out of the webbing of the glove.
Worth will take it. That's a base hit. Tigers have 5 hits. Here's Rajai Davis. One on, one out of the 5th. Brett has gone to a pattern here of against lefties. Davis will lead off. Otherwise, you see Kinsler at the top of the lineup. Another throwback. Davis a strikeout and a fly out in this game. Rajai came in 4th in the American League with 7 stolen bases this year. And Davis, by and large, has been one of a couple of guys that have really helped the offense through some sluggish times in the early going here. Rajai batting over 300 most of the year. He's really off to a nice start, running the base as well. Right now trying to keep it going here in the 5th. The 1-1 runner goes, pitch out. Here comes the throw down to second. Worth will put on the brakes and head back. Now he's in a rundown, or as they used to say in the old days, a pickle, and out.
It's a great guess there by Robin Ventura, the manager of the Chicago White Sox, anticipating the Tigers would have a play on, and they did. And Danny Worth takes off, and then he sees that it was a pitch out, so he gets himself into a rundown, eventually tagged out by Gordon Beckham.
Base is empty. 2-1 on Davis. Two and 2 on Rache. Quintana working quickly. The 2-2 pitch is bouncing in. Full count.
I got him after the game, guys.
Should Rajay reach, you've got Kinsler waiting on deck. Grounded foul. Quintana now 75 pitches in this game, so he's been a little bit better in that regard than Max, but Max got a ton of strikeouts. That's drilled in the air to left field and hit well. This one is going to go. It is gone. A home run for Rajay Davis. Second of the year for Rajay. (3-1) Detroit.
Quintana likes to live at the top of the strike zone with that fastball. That cutter at 88 miles an hour, and didn't make it to the catcher's glove. Good swing put on it by Rajay Davis.
So the Tiger lead now is 2. That is their first home run of the afternoon. And Davis gets his 7th RBI of the season. Here is Ian Kinsler. In for strike 1 on Ian. Each ball club now with 6 hits. Tigers lead at 3-1. Back out of play, no balls and 2 strikes.
So 4th home run that Jose has given up this season. Gave up 23 gopher balls last year.
The 0-2 bouncing in, 1 ball and 2 strikes. (19) allowed against righties. Those are updated numbers. The 1-2 pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Kinsler. He will try and reach for Cabrera. Kinsler did just that with a 2-out single back in the 3rd. He advanced on a wild pitch and scored on a 2-out hit by Miggy. So you look at the by inning count on Quintana.
And Jackson and Davis down there having a laugh or two.
On the ground, diving stop. Ramirez to his feet. And picked at first base by Abreu.
Stop it, Alexi.
Tigers get a run on 2 hits. The homer from Rajay Davis. And it's now a 3-1 lead for the Tigers as we continue to celebrate April in the D. to you by Arby's. Try Arby's 2 for $5 mix and match deal today. And by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. Well, the Tigers have added another run now for Max Scherzer, who has now watched his teammates take a 3-1 lead. Each ball club with 6 hits. Max has thrown 96 pitches so far, and he goes back to work and delivers a strike to Dion Viciedo.
It could very well be Max's last inning because of the 97 pitches that he's already thrown.
Ramirez and then De Aza. And now quickly 0-2 on Viciedo. 2-base hit back in the 4th.
Max threw 111 pitches his last outing against the Angels.
Low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Three to 1 Tigers here in the 6th as they play for a split in this 4-game series. A high fly ball. Torrey Hunter didn't see it initially. Now he can't get it. He made a diving attempt. He's going to try and get to third. Viciedo is on the run, and he is in there standing up. Hunter immediately threw his arms up in the air. And by the time he located it, it was too late.
That's a helpless feeling for an outfielder when the ball goes up in your direction. You have no idea where it is.
Give Viciedo a little credit too. He was running all the way and he ends up at third.
Good point.
And a lot of times you'll see a guy have to pull into second on that play.
Especially when there's a guy in the outfield that's won 9 Gold Gloves.
So Viciedo has a triple to go with his double. That's ruled a 3-base hit. Here's Ramirez now. Alexei with a couple of strikeouts in this contest. 0 for 2. Scherzer has crossed the 100 threshold. 101. The 0-1. Driven to center field. Viciedo will tag up. Catch is made. Run will score. Sac fly and an RBI for Alexei Ramirez. His 16th RBI of the year. That's a pretty good bat there, considering he has had no success in his career against Scherzer, and he had fanned against him twice in this game.
Here's our Xfinity high-speed pitch on Max Scherzer this afternoon. His top fastball, 94 miles an hour.
So the bases are empty now. Here's De Aza. White Sox get that run back they gave up in the bottom of the 5th. Single and a walk for De Aza, the number 7 hitter on base a couple of times in this game. Max with the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. There was Evan Reed warming up. Pull to right field, but foul. Tough break for Max in this inning. He'll get charged with an earned run, even though that ball was lost out in right field by Hunter. What would have been a routine fly ball had he seen it all the way. It went as a triple, and so the run is earned. The 1-2. High fly ball center field. Jackson is over to his right. And there are 2 outs. Let's go back to the studio now for a game break. Matt Shepard. Shep, thank you. How about those Twins?
They were a team that many people felt they would lose 100 games again, but they are playing some good baseball under Ron Gardenhire, their manager, longtime manager.
10-10 coming into play today for Minnesota. The next opponent for the Tigers. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-1 on Beckham. We mentioned this earlier, but from top to bottom, the American League Central has a spread of just a game and a half. That's it. The Tigers came in with a 1-game lead over Chicago, KC, and Minnie.
And poor Gordon Beckham, and not much of a chance here today against Max, playing in his first game of the year after spending quite a bit of time on the disabled list with an oblique injury.
Yep, absolutely. And that's his third strikeout of the game. It's also number 10 for Max Scherzer. They get a run back, and the Tigers now lead 3-2. Run over Chicago. Scherzer, 10 strikeout performance over 6 innings in this one. Rajay Davis is homered, and Diane Viciedo is 8 for 15 in the series. 2 more hits today. And now Miguel Cabrera leads it off in the bottom of the 6th. The Tigers 3 runs, 6 hits, and the White Sox 2 runs on 7 hits. RBI single for Miggy back in the 3rd. And Quintana misses outside 1-0.
What do you think? Max is at 110 pitches through 6 innings. Is there any chance that Brad Ausmus lets him go back out there for the 7th?
I think he may be considering it. I think I would. Well, we know the pen has been struggling. Max, would you say at 110?
110. The most he's thrown this year is 111, and he did that 5 days ago.
One ball and 1 strike.
I guess you have to watch your pitchers very early in the month of April, and Quintana is a perfect example of that. A couple of starts ago, he threw 121 pitches against the Cleveland Indians, and he just wasn't himself 5 days ago against Texas. And also Chris Sale, who has already thrown 1 game at 127, the most he's thrown in his career, landed him on the disabled list. So I guess if you're the manager, you have to be very cautious in the month of April with your superstar pitchers.
Agreed. Is it worth? I mean, you have to weigh the risk of, is it worth the risk of throwing them out there for 1 more inning this early in the season? So the answer to that is probably not. 2-2 on Miguel Cabrera. Outside 3-2. Miggy a single, a ground out. And an RBI. He's knocked in 11 this year.
Well, if he throws him something outside, Miguel will simply beat the shift again with a base hit right there, vacated at the position vacated by Gordon Beckham.
Bouncing ball left side of the infield. Diving stop Ramirez, and he's done it again. He's been flopping around the infield this entire series. Another terrific play. One out. Here's Victor Martinez. A couple of fly balls for Martinez in this game. Still only 87 pitches now for lefty Quintana. Oh, 0-1 on Martinez. Ball outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Quintana's still young. He's only 25. 9-game winner last year. You would expect with this offense he should be able to eclipse that mark this year if he can get some support. Chopped to third. Routine play there for Semien. 2 up, 2 down. Couple of ground balls.
Most of the outs recorded by Quintana this afternoon have been via the fly balls, but the last 3 outs are recorded on the ground for Jose.
Torrey Hunter is 0 for 2. 250 batting average. Ball up and in.
I was teasing Torrey Hunter and also Joe Nathan today in the Tigers clubhouse, talking about both players going back to Minnesota, where they both had lengthy, successful careers. I said, is there going to be a parade when you guys arrive?
Probably not. Is that what he said?
They're going to chuckle out of it.
2-out single for Torrey.
Let's take a look at the Jimmy John's Freaky Fast delivery of the game. Austin Jackson tripled in the 2nd inning, and then with 2 outs while he was standing at third base. Outstanding at bat by Nick Castellanos. Solid single right back through the middle to drive in the 2nd run. Actually the 1st run of the game for the Tigers.
So Jackson, with a man at first, looks at ball 1 inside.
Quintana nearly impossible to run against with that slide step. He's taking very little time getting the ball out of his hand into the catcher's glove. Flowers.
Torrey down there at first base needs 10 more steals to get to 200. 2 balls and no strikes. Do you subscribe to the theory that some believe that by slide stepping you lose some velocity on your fastball?
I've always thought that, but everybody that I talk to, pitching coaches, managers, they all feel like you don't really lose that much velocity, but sometimes you do lose command.
Now the 2-0. And it's fouled back out of play.
Brad Ausmus also told me just the other day that when he was catching, when he would give the slide step, he noticed that a lot of the pitchers would hang breaking balls because, you know, you don't have that normal delivery where you pick your leg up, you allow yourself to gather, you get your arm in a good slot. He says usually guys that slide step, they rush with their lower half, arm never catches up, so breaking balls aren't good pitches to call when a guy is slide stepping.
Now the 2-1. On the outer edge, and it's 2-2 on Jackson. Austin thought that might have been a smidge outside, not so. Should he reach, Castellanos on deck. Throw back, and diving back in there is Hunter. Tigers now have 7 hits. Both ball clubs with 7 hits in this game. 2-2 is hammered back out of play. Now, Rod, it looks like early in this season, based on the games we've played against teams in the Central, Cleveland, a couple of tough games. This series has been tough for the Tigers. This might be a pretty good division in terms of being competitive this year.
I think it's going to be competitive, but I still believe the Tigers are the class of the division. And I think once Miguel just really starts to heat up and gets it going, everybody else in the lineup will follow suit. The Tigers do need to get that bullpen straightened out. We do know the strength of the team pretty much is that rotation. That hasn't changed.
Runner goes on 2-2, lined into left field, and caught on the move by De Aza. So the Tigers get a 2-out hit, strand a man, and we go to the 7th.
Let's take a peek at Max's afternoon. 10 strikeouts total in 6 innings, and he did it differently than Verlander and Smiley. Max got a lot of his strikeouts on fastballs today. Simply overpowered some of these powerful right-handed hitters the White Sox will throw at you with real good heaters. And he also had that real good slider and a few changeups, with primarily eaters used today by Scherzer.
Numbers on Max: 10 punch-outs, 6 innings. He gave up a couple of runs and walked only 1 in the game today. So he will turn things over to the Tigers bullpen now. Here is Al Albuquerque in a wall-side windows pitching change.
11th game now that Albuquerque has appeared, and the ERA is a shade over 5, but it's early. Albuquerque has the stuff to get that ERA down with a few good appearances.
Tiger bullpen now will have to protect a 1-run lead. Here is Flowers to lead things off, followed by Danks and then Semien. Albuquerque delivers outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Flowers, pretty good day against the starter Scherzer. A couple of base hits, 1 in the 3rd and 1 in the 5th.
Max was able to get ahead of him all day long, but once he got ahead of him, you got to give Flowers some credit. He was able to put the ball in play, and he found a couple of holes. His first base hit was an 0-2 hit.
One ball, 1 strike. How about that? It's going to be a 3-hit day for the number 9 hitter Tyler Flowers. And now the tying run is on for Chicago. One thing we've learned in the first 3 games in this series is they are really never out of a game. Now the top of the order coming up. Jordan Danks will step in. Michael Clayton now warming up for Chicago.
Wears his hat like Fernando Rodney. A little tilt to the side for Clayton.
See what Rodney started. Jordan Danks right now is batting 100 with his 0 for 3 today.
You would think the bunt may be in order for him, but he has never bunted. He does not have a sacrifice bunt.
in his life?
Not in the big leagues.
Oh, okay. Meanwhile, Albuquerque threw one low to first base.
But with the way that Semien and Abreu were swinging the bats, a bunt could be in order here. It would keep you out of a double play for sure.
No sign of a bunt there. Strike one on Danks. 2 for his last 24 at bats. Danks has played all 3 outfield positions, right, center, and left.
He's a really good defender.
Did he go? He sure did. Bill Welke says it's strike 2. Another check swing today. We saw a lot of those with Max on the hill. And the 0-2. He's going to get away from Holiday, but not far enough. I think if Flowers is anticipating there, he might have gotten a second.
He could have. Yeah, but once he recognized that the ball did get past Holiday, it was too late for him to get a good enough break to get down to second. Holiday would have thrown him out.
Now Danks given time. You've got Semien waiting on deck. Then you get to the middle of the lineup for the White Sox. We're in the 7th inning here in a 1-run game.
When Albuquerque's on the mound, you always have to anticipate something's going to bounce with as many sliders as he throws.
Wave and a miss. And Danks is out of there on strikes. He's got an 0 for 4 today with a couple of punch-outs. Well, it's April in the D on Fox Sports Detroit. Join us tonight for Game 4 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Red Wings taking on the Boston Bruins. Game 4, Red Wings Bruins tonight at 7:30 here on Fox Sports Detroit. Here is Marcus Semien. It's 11 strikeouts now for Tigers pitching. The ball low and away. 1-0 on Semien. 1 for 3 afternoon. It's the 11th appearance of the year for Albuquerque out of the Detroit bullpen, which is among the higher totals in the American League. He's 6th in the AL among relievers. That's it for a strike. 1-1. Two Tigers lead. We're in the 7th. Leadoff single by Flowers. Tried to hold up, couldn't do it. 1-2. Has Albuquerque added a little bit of a leg kick? Did you notice that?
I haven't noticed much.
Right at the end. Watch what he does right at the end before he delivers the pitch. He lifts that front leg.
Yeah, I've noticed that before. That's different.
That is different.
That's different.
So I don't know what the reason for that is, but you always talk about hitters who have little timing mechanisms. I wonder if that's the same for him.
Well, anything that would help him throw strikes efficiently is welcome, especially with his fastball.
2-2. don't think he went. He did not. Semien held up on that pitch, and now the count fills at 3-2.
Well, Semien will get another slider. And if Albuquerque locates the slider where he locates most of them to right-handers down and away, he will get his second strikeout of the inning. But it's nice to also have about 95 in your tank. There's that slider sign.
Yeah, he went that time. And home plate umpire Dan Iasonia didn't need any help. Another check swing, strike 3.
That pitch is so tough to pick up. It stays on the fastball plane all the way until it gets about 5 feet from home plate, and then all of a sudden the ball just disappears on you. He has one of the best sliders for a right-hander in the American League.
Well, and that's why he's racked up so many strikeouts. Last year, 70 strikeouts in 49 innings. Up and in, ball 1 to Jose Abreu.
And his slider is so good that it's an above average pitch to left-handed hitters as well.
Abreu has hit a couple of really long home runs in this series, but he's also struck out six times, 2 of them in this contest today. Ball outside. Now the count goes 2-0. Scherzer with 10 strikeouts. Give 2 more to Albuquerque. White Sox struck out 9 times in last night's game. Count has gone 3-0 now on Abreu.
Abreu doing a nice job of laying off the slider.
There's Dunn waiting on deck. Caught the outside corner with 1 there, 3-1. White Sox got their runs in the 2nd, home run by Dunn, and in the 6th, sac fly by Ramirez. Driven high in the air to center. Jackson over to his left. He's under it for the final out. No runs, a hit, 1 man left. Coming up the 7th inning stretch. Brought to you by LaFontaine Automotive Group. And Saturday, Major League Baseball on Fox Sports 1 is back with a doubleheader as Mike Trout and the Angels take on Derek Jeter and the Yankees. Then reigning NL MVP Andrew McCutchen and the Padres, or the Pirates I should say, square off against Matt Holliday and the Cardinals. The action starts at 12:30 Eastern on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. I got McCutchen playing for the Padres these days now.
You do. The Padres wish he was playing for the Padres too.
They'll take him, no doubt. Well, it's a one-run ball game. The Tigers now will face a new pitcher. That would be Michael Clayton in the Wallside Windows pitching chain.
Hey, good arm for Clayton. 8 games now, 9 games he's been in, has a really good ERA. He also has 4 holds, but he has an issue with command. 7 walks, 3 strikeouts so far this year.
So we'll see if the Tigers now can build the lead up. They're up by 1. They've been out hit by 1. Big base hit for Castellanos back in the second. 2-out RBI single. And ball bounces in. 1 ball and no strikes. Nick to be followed by Holliday and then Worth in the Tigers 7th. One and one on Castellanos. Nick now with 10 RBIs. He's 1 for 2 today. Tigers playing the final game of the homestand this afternoon. Fouled back out of play, 1 and 2. Next road trip will feature 3 in Minnesota, 2 in Chicago, 3 in Kansas City.
Clayton has 3 pitches. He's got a fastball that will get all the way up to 99 miles an hour. He averages 97 with his heater. Also will throw a slider and an occasional changeup. Not many changeups at all to the right-handers. He is strictly fastball, slider to the righties.
Swing and a miss. Castellanos down on strikes.
That's some easy gas right there at 96. White Sox got some arms in that bullpen. Belisario, Webb, Cleto.
There's only the 4th strikeout for Tigers hitters today as Jabba Chamberlain heats it up in the Detroit bullpen, the 8th inning guy for the Tigers. He'll try and get it to Joe Nathan. Holliday looks at a strike, 0-1. Brian in the ballgame today, strikeout, flyout. Half swing ground ball left side. Charging Ramirez. Bobbles. Has no play.
That'll be an infield single for Brian Holliday.
Like it came up on the heel of the glove on Ramirez.
It's about the only play that Ramirez has not been able to make today.
One out base runner. And here is Danny Worth. Eighth hit of the day for the Tigers. Worth had a single back in the 5th.
I didn't think that was much of a question whether that was a base hit or an error, but it took the official scorekeeper a little time before he gave Brian that hit.
He's probably considering the speed of the runner, but I didn't think it was much of a call either. I thought it was a base hit all the way. Ball up and in. Danny Worth. Tigers would certainly like to make it a little bit more comfortable in the final 2 at bats for Chicago. They can get a run or 2 here. Michael Clayton has other ideas. The native of Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. Here's the 1-0. 1-1 on Worth, who has spent the last 4 years for Detroit up and down between Toledo and Detroit. And yes, it is great to be a big league player, and yes, there are a lot of perks, but for those that are players that are not everyday big league players that are up and down between the minors and the majors, a lot of moving. not always that easy, at least on your personal life.
Sometimes there have been players that have been called up to the major leagues that will simply keep their apartment in Toledo and commute because they're uncertain of how long they're going to be in the big leagues.
Yeah, and that certainly makes sense. Of course, the proximity between Toledo and Detroit makes that a little bit easier. Again, back out of play. A couple of years ago, Worth pretty much split time between Detroit and Toledo in terms of games played, so it wasn't like one long stretch in one spot.
Tigers have played 18 games so far this year, and 12 of the 18 have been decided by 2 or fewer runs. 12 of the 18.
A 2-2. Another foul back out of play. It's a lot of close games. Was it the Orioles a couple of years ago that had that fabulous record in one-run games?
They sure did.
Which helped them get to the postseason.
That's right.
Winning those tight ones, those tough ones. Mark of a good ball club. Two and two on Worth. Bounce again. There goes the runner to second. Throw is not in time.
Great anticipation there by Brian Holiday, who is not the fleetest of foot, but as soon as he saw that ball going down in the dirt, he, being a catcher himself, knew it would be nearly impossible for Flowers to gather himself, pick it up, and throw him out at second base. Flowers nearly got it, which gives you an idea of the jump that Holiday had to get to make it safely. That's good heads-up base running, though.
And you go back to that play I was talking about with Flowers last half inning on a ball that really didn't get much farther away from the catcher.
He wasn't anticipating.
Right. And as a result, he had to stay. Good play there by Holiday. Meanwhile, 3 and 2 on Worth. Outside, lost it. Ball 4. 2 on, 1 out. Top of the order coming up now, Rajai Davis.
Now, we told you that command is an issue for Cleto. He has walked 8 now this year and struck out 4, so he has walked more than he has struck out.
Cleto in his career in professional baseball has spent a lot more time in the minor leagues than he has in the big leagues. He has pitched with St. Louis and now the White Sox. Let's see what Rajai Davis can do. He homered in his last at bat. Ball 1 high. Time call now. And Cleto appears to be a little bit out of whack.
Here's our Nissan drive of the game, and it was Rajai Davis's last time up. He got himself a fastball that was up at about 90 miles an hour, cutter variety. He got on top of it and drilled it into the seats in left field for a solo shot.
So Don Cooper will depart the scene now after a couple of words for Cleto.
If you're Rajai Davis in this situation with runners on first and second and the command issues that Cleto was having, and the pitching coach just takes a visit, and 99% of the time that next pitch is going to be a fastball. If he throws you something off speed, simply take it, but you need to be ready for that 95-mile-per-hour fastball right now.
Well, it was at 96 and it was right down the middle. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kinsler waiting on deck. Two and 1 on Davis. bullpen for the White Sox has an ERA of 5.13, but their starters haven't been much better. 5.07. It's popped in the air. Slicing down the right field line, and Abreu can't get there. Neither can Viciedo. And a souvenir. Nice play in the carom by that gentleman. 2-2 the count. Davis's home run back in the 5th, his 2nd of the year. Rajay fought that one off. Daniel Webb right now is warming up in the bullpen for Chicago. Their starter Quintanilla went 6 innings. Or Quintana, I should say. There's Webb warming up. Quintana didn't strike too many out. Gave up the home run to Davis. A couple of RBI singles. By and large, pitched pretty well. There's a bouncing ball left side. Diving stop Ramirez, but he can't come up with it, and he appears to be hurt. The bases will be loaded, and Ramirez just couldn't come to his feet. Could be an infield single.
Don't know exactly what happened there, but he's been diving all over the place all afternoon long. Looked like it has something to do with the shoulders.
Yeah. Well, Alexi appears to be okay. They are loaded up now for Ian Kinsler. Single for 3 for Kinsler. He already leads the team in RBIs with 13.
Also batting .389 with runners in scoring position, so they've got the right guy at the plate.
Popped up. Foul ground, third base side. Semien squeezes it for a huge out, 2 away. Well, still one more mountain to climb for Plato. Here is Miguel Cabrera. Singled back in the 3rd to drive in a run.
So many times in these types of situations since Miguel has put on the Tigers uniform, he has come through more times than not. Regardless of how he is swinging the bat, he is still a very, very dangerous hitter.
Well, the White Sox don't like this matchup. Robin Ventura is slowly walking out to the mound. He'll make a pitching change here. They've had Webb warming up in their bullpen.
Well, he trusts Webb more to throw strikes. Plato probably would walk Miguel.
So Ventura takes the baseball. Webb will come in out of the bullpen. We'll step aside. Pitching change here at Comerica.
Here's a little base running 101. In the previous inning, Tyler Flowers was on first base. Albuquerque uncorked a wild pitch. He wasn't able to advance to second. He wasn't anticipating. But Brian Holiday was able to get himself down in the scoring position. Cleto on the mound, wild pitch. He does anticipate, and he gets down to second.
So they are still loaded for the Tigers here with 2 outs. Miguel Cabrera will have a chance to bat here and lengthen the Detroit lead. He will face Daniel Webb.
Webb's got a big arm. His fastball will get all the way up to 99 miles an hour as well. 11 2/3 innings so far this year. 9 strikeouts, 5 base on balls for Webb.
The 3 runners have the responsibility of Cleto, and now here is Cabrera.
%83 of the time, right-handed batter in the batter's box. The first pitch that Webb throws is a fastball. But that's the normal right-handers. The guy in the batter's box is not necessarily normal.
Way inside 1-0.
And that's why he throws him a first pitch breaking ball.
And with the bases loaded here, they play Miguel pretty much straight up on the infield. They have been playing him to pull. As you look at his career numbers with the bases loaded, a gaudy .415.
Now what do you do if you're Daniel Webb?
Here's the 1-0. Bouncing ball back up the middle into center field, base hit. Cabrera gets it done. Holiday scores. Webb comes around to score a clutch 2-out knock, and the Tigers have had a few of those today.
Once Webb missed with the first pitch breaking ball, Miguel knew that he was going to get a fastball, and he very well knew it was going to be in the mid-90s, and this probably would have even been called a ball. But Miggy so strong, able to muscle that ball past Alexi Ramirez, the shortstop, to drive in a couple of crucial, and I mean crucial, runs for the Tigers.
So Cabrera now has a 3 RBI day. 5-2 Tigers. Those runs will be charged to Cleto. Here's Victor Martinez. Oh for 3 for Martinez. Ball 1.
Here's where Victor gives you a really good at bat. Runners in scoring position. 7th inning or later. You've well pointed this out during the course of this season. Tough to strike out.
It's really been amazing, his percentage of putting the ball in play. Way outside. He's got nothing, at least early on in this bat. 2-0. 2-run single Cabrera. All of the Tigers runs today scoring with 2 outs. Now the 2-0. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Ramirez has it, tags the bag for the force. And that's all for the Tigers. Productive inning, though. They scored twice and now lead 5-2. best hitter in the game is back. Miguel Cabrera, another big 2-run single extending the Tigers' lead. Speaking of Miggy, you can see the Tigers battle the Twins on Friday, May 9th at 7:08. First 10,000 fans receive a free Miguel Cabrera 3-time batting champ trophy. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. Good to see Miguel Cabrera coming back with some huge hits. Cabrera had a 2-out single to drive in a run in the 3rd, and then the big knock in the 7th. And so now Jabba Chamberlain has some more offense to work with.
And Jabba already has a couple of holds this year, pitching now in his 9th game, 11 strikeouts and just 2 walks for the former New York Yankee.
Albuquerque, a scoreless 7th. Jabba Chamberlain coming on to try and set things up for the closer, Joe Nathan. Meanwhile, Cabrera with his 3 RBIs today has knocked in 13 now to tie him for the team lead in runs driven in. Adam Dunn will start things off. It'll be Dunn, Viciedo, and then Alexi Ramirez facing the Tigers right-hander. Top of the 8th inning on tap here at the ballpark. Tigers with their final game of this homestand. Dunn hit a homer against Scherzer, today's starter. That was way back in the 2nd. Max allowed just 2 runs over 6 innings of work today, and he struck out 10. That's flared toward left field. That is going to get down and roll all the way to the wall. Dunn is on his way to 2nd, and he is in standing with a double. Yet another extra base hit in this series for Chicago.
The Tigers play Dunn to the pull field, and he's a little tardy on a 94-mile-per-hour fastball thrown by Chamberlain, and creates the bat angle with the end result of a stand-up double to left field. As you could see, that he does not go to left field very often.
Viciedo's had a double and a triple. Strike called. League leading 368 batting average for Viciedo. Tigers have 10 hits. White Sox have 9. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Alexi Ramirez will be next. Checked it. 1-2 the count.
Well, you might as well go out there again. Viciedo had a difficult time of laying off that 0-2 pitch.
Ball high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Chamberlain fastball this year has been around 95. That last one was at 95 miles an hour.
That's good to see. His 2nd year after the Tommy John surgery is usually the year where you're back to full strength.
Tigers need someone to really take a hold of the 8th inning, and Chamberlain has gotten most of the reps. Pulled on the ground and through. That's going to be a base hit. So Dunn will go to 3rd, and the White Sox not going away. Each ball club now with 10 hits this afternoon.
How about the big 3 in this series? Whether it be Alexi Ramirez, who is standing in the batter's backs right now, Viciedo or Abreu, they've all gotten off in this series, and they're a major reason why the White Sox have already won 11 games this year.
And they are not going quietly here in the 8th inning today. That's the 10th hit now for Chicago. A double and a single.
Cubanos.
Jeff Jones out to have a chat with Jabba Chamberlain as they talk. We tell you this. It's April in the D on Fox Sports Detroit. Join us again tomorrow. The Tigers heading to Minnesota to battle the Minnesota Twins. Tigers Twins tomorrow at 7. And you can see it right here on Fox Sports Detroit. Our first look at the surprising Twins. Big swing there by Ramirez, 0-1. Sac fly for Alexi in his last at bat, knocking in his 16th run of the season. Tigers trade a double play ball here for a run if they can get it. And they lead by 3. Here's a bouncing ball right side, going to find a hole though. That's a base hit. Score done on the play, and 3 straight hits here in the 8th.
This White Sox team is just not going quietly. And they've won 2 games already in the series, and the 1 game they did lose, they had scored quite a few runs in the 9th inning to make it a close contest.
So once again now it's a 2-run game, 5-3. However, the tying runs are on, nobody out. Here is Deaza. Single walk and a fly ball. They're expecting bunt, and he digs low. Castellanos on the grass at third, likewise Cabrera at first base.
Even though he squared the bunt on that very first pitch, he may be taking a swipe at the next fastball that Chamberlain throws with Gordon Beckham in the on-deck circle. Beckham's already struck out 3 times today.
Evan Reed was warming up earlier. He is warming up once again.
But he very easily could be going to a pinch hitter for Beckham. That's why he's having Deaza bunt, if he's bunting.
Throw back into second base. Runner back in there. 1 ball, 1 strike on Deaza.
It's a nice job there by Holiday. That's what you're taught to do in bunting situations. That base runner is always trying to inch his way off the base because he wants to get to the next base. And when the ball is bunted through, sometimes you could pick guys off by throwing behind them.
One is on the ground to second. Kinsler stutter step, but he got the out at second base.
That cost him a double play.
Would have been a twin killing on a fine defensive play, but he just couldn't get it out of his glove.
Looked like he may have lost his footing as well. They don't get much more tailor-made than that one, especially with Deaza running down the line.
So in the end, it looked like the Tigers were fortunate to get the force. So here is Beckham now with runners at first and third. He's glad to see Scherzer out of the game. Max struck him out 3 times. In there for a strike, 0-1. 5-3 Tigers have the lead. Tying runs on for Chicago.
If you're Jabba Chamberlain, you cannot forget about Deaza standing over at first base. He had 20 steals last year. And if he gets the sense that you have forgotten about him, he will get himself down in the scoring position and take the double play out of play here.
So Chamberlain throws to first. 11 hits for Chicago, 10 now for the Tigers. There goes the runner. Holiday's throw bouncing in and into center field. That'll score a run. And it's 5-4 Detroit. Stolen base, E2.
Deaza really did not have a good jump, but Brian Holiday came up and kind of rushed his throw. And a lot of times when you rush your throw, you open up the left shoulder prematurely, and that's when the ball tails on you. and that ball tailed on him. And no chance for Danny Wirth to make a play. It's a gift run there for the White Sox.
Yeah, that it is. And now they've got the tying run at second base with only 1 out. 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes on Beckham. Tigers scored 2 in the 7th. They've given them right back here in the 8th. The 1-2 is on the ground to the shortstop. Wirth has it. His throw is in time. Beckham is out. 2 gone. Tying run now at third. And here's the number 9 hitter, Tyler Flowers, who has 3 hits today. And a .381 batting average. His first 3 hits of the series. Ball 1 high. Two 2-0 Tyler Flowers. Inning started with a double the other way by Dunn. Viciedo's single. Base hit by Ramirez. That scored a run. Throwing error by Holiday scored another. Here's the 2-0. Two balls and 1 strike on Flowers, who swings through a Chamberlain fastball. Another swing and a miss. Right through a heater. 2-2 on Flowers. Chamberlain now back even in the count. There's Jordan Danks waiting on deck, the leadoff man. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Only fell behind 2-0 and threw 3 of them right by him. Flowers is out. Sox get a little bit closer, though. They get 2 runs back. Tigers, we go to the bottom of the 8th inning here at the ballpark today, wrapping up this series against Chicago, which means the homestand comes to an end and the road trip, well, is just starting, and it'll begin tomorrow into Minnesota. Here's some of the players the Tigers are going to be facing in that road trip through Minnesota, Chicago, KC. Chris Colabello, what a start he's had. 26 RBIs, leads the American League.
And we've already seen what Alexi Ramirez has done in this series, off to an outstanding start. And Alex Gordon also playing some pretty good baseball right now.
Well, the Tigers now will try and rebuild this lead as we go to the bottom of the 8th. It's back down to 1. Torrey Hunter leads it off. Torrey 1 for 3, single, strikeout, fly ball. And there's a ball outside, 1-0. Bouncing ball to third. Nice backhanded play by Semien. One gone here in the 8th. Here's Austin Jackson, a triple in 3 at-bats. Tigers got to Clayton in the 7th. Webb came on, gave up a 2-run single to Cabrera in that 7th inning. Those runs were charged to Clayton. Straighten him up inside. 2 balls, no strikes. And then Webb got the final out of the inning. Castellanos waiting on deck. Three and 0. Here's the closer, Joe Nathan, heating up in the Detroit bullpen. Here's the 3-1. And he lost it, ball 4. Gotten word that Michael Pineda, with the pine tar in the neck, how about a 10-game suspension? Whew, he got 10 games for that.
That is so unfortunate for the Yankees. He was pitching pretty well for them. But did you see that, though?
I did.
I'm like, oh, wow.
It's just, part of me thinks, well, you kind of get what you deserve there.
Where are your teammates at?
I don't know. Somebody's got to pick you up on that. Here's Castellanos. Nick takes high. Throw back down to first base. Jackson back in there. RBI single back in the 2nd for Castellanos. Runner goes. In the air to shallow center. Danks coming on, not going to get there. Neither is Viciedo. And Jackson will get to third. And the Tigers have something brewing now here in the 8th.
Second hit and run of the afternoon put on by Brad Ausmus. We assume it was a hit and run. Jackson on the move. Nice job by Castellanos putting the ball in play. Earlier in the game, it was a 1-1 count with Rajay Davis in the batter's box. Robin Ventura pinched out, and they caught the base runner in that situation in a rundown.
So we'll see if the Tigers now can get a run or 2 back here. They're up 5-4 in the 8th. Brian Holiday will stand in. Brian had a single in the 7th inning, scored a run. Rips it straight back to the screen. 0-1.
He got himself a good fastball to hit there with a runner on third, less than 2 outs.
Holiday made his major league debut last season. Beg your pardon, 2 seasons ago, 2012, he came up. That was just for 6 games. Last year, he appeared in 16 games for Detroit. Hit his first major league home run last year. Slice back up the middle into center, base hit. That'll score a run. Jackson comes in, and Holiday singles to make it a 2-run game.
Good at bat here by Holiday. Got a breaking ball up, and he didn't miss that one.
Little breathing room now for Joe Nathan. 2-run game. 6-4. 2 on, 1 out. Holiday knocks in his first of the year. Now Danny Worth. Single walk run scored for Danny. Up and in, 1-0. White Sox in the 9th inning against Nathan will have the top 3. Danks, Semien, and Abreu due up. Webb trying to limit the damage. One. 93 up the letters, and Worth could not catch up. But outside, 2 balls, 1 strike on Danny Worth. Rajay Davis waiting on deck. Tigers have scored 4 of their 6 runs in the last 4 innings. Fouled straight back. Two and 2 on Worth. Skied in the air, shallow left center field. Danks on the sprint will make the catch, and the runners have to retreat. That's the second out of the inning. And here is Rajay Davis. Davis had a homer back in the 5th inning. Infield hit in the 7th. 2 out of 4 in this game. Rajay's second home run of the year. The average up to 317 now. Ball 1. 23 hits in this game. 12 for the Tigers, 11 for the Chicago White Sox. One ball, 1 strike. Scherzer started this one for Detroit. Went 6. Albuquerque the 7th. Chamberlain the 8th. It'll be Nathan in the 9th. 10 strikeout game today for Max. Driven to left field on a line. De Aza going back. It's over his head up against the wall. 1 run is in. will hold at third base. It's a double and an RBI for Rajai Davis. It's a 3-hit day for Davis.
And Davis got himself another fastball at the top of the zone. Identical pitch he hit out of the ballpark already here today. And what a job by Dave Clark, the third base coach. He gets down the line far enough. He knows there's going to be a play, possibly for Worth to score. He gets down that line with both hands up, gives Worth an opportunity to stop. Actually, that's Holiday at third.
7-4, Tigers back up by 3 now as they answer the White Sox 2-run frame with 2 of their own.
I love the way that Clarkie coaches third base. He is very animated out there.
I agree, and he doesn't leave anything to chance. He will let his runners know what they need to do. Easy to pick up. And sometimes the only time you notice that third base coach is when he gets someone thrown out.
Here's another great look. Look where he starts. And then he gets up there to find out what's going on. He wants to see the play. And then he gets back down there with both hands up to stop Brian Holiday.
It's a great shot.
The one thing that you have to concern yourself with when you're coaching third base, you saw him waving the left arm. That was for Castellanos. And then you quickly have to revert to, okay, what do I do with the next guy? Stop him, because you don't want Holiday coming to third thinking that you're giving him the go-ahead sign as well.
Here's the 2-0, and it's high, 3 balls and no strikes. Well, the Tigers get 2 back. They have 13 hits in this game and a 3-hit day for Rajai Davis. .30 pitch. He's taking strike call. 3-1. Webb has thrown 28 since coming into this game. He's thrown more balls than strikes. 3-2 on Kinsler. Cabrera waiting on deck. Oh, got him. Strike 3. Kinsler disagrees with Dan Iasonia. However, the Tigers get 2 big runs, and we will go to the top of the 9th. thanks very much. It's been an interesting storyline. The entire division has. Early on this season, they've been separated by a game and a half coming into play. In this one, Rajai Davis, a big hit. And the Tigers have rebuilt their lead now for Joe Nathan.
And Nathan has 3 saves this year in 5 opportunities. He has an ERA that is above 7. But as a reliever, especially a closer, if you have 1 or 2 bad outings early, the ERA will elevate. But there's no reason to believe that Joe will get it down.
He's got 3 outs to get here to get the Tigers a split in this series with Chicago. Jordan Danks leads it off. Top of the order coming up for the White Sox. It'll be Danks, Semien, and then Abreu. Albuquerque in the 7th, Jabba in the 8th, and now Nathan here in the 9th. First one is in there for a strike. Danks, tough day today. Couple of strikeouts. He's 0 for 4.
It's been a tough series for Danks.
Good point. He would be 1 for 16. Now he's down 0-2. Nathan in search of his 4th save of the season. He went around. The tough day got a little bit tougher. His 3rd strikeout this afternoon.
14 strikeouts for Tigers pitching.
Hey fans, follow every Detroit Tigers game with MLB.com at bats on your favorite mobile phone or tablet. Get live look-ins, instant replay, scores, stats, audio, and a whole lot more. Download on the App Store or visit Tigers.com. How many did you say? 14?
14 is what I had.
Yeah, well, I got 14 too. Marcus Semien.
10 by Max. Couple by Mr. Albuquerque. 1 by Chamberlain. And 1 so far by Joe Nathan.
Here's the 1-0. 2-0 on Marcus Semien. Missed again. 3-0. Semien looks at a ball down the middle of strike. He's got a single and 4 at bats today. He's also punched out a couple of times. Each team getting a couple of runs in the 8th. It is a 3-run Tigers lead. Here's the 3-1. He lost him. Ball 4. And while we have a chance, let's get a preview of Tigers Live postgame coming up with Lindsay Hayes.
Hi guys, coming up on Tigers Live, we're going to talk to Rajai Davis about a great outing, him earning his 2nd home run of the season. Also, Max Scherzer, 5 starts with 7 or more strikeouts. We're going to get Brad Ausmus's take on that. All that and much more. I'm going to head into the clubhouse, as well as Matt Shepard and Craig Monroe. They're going to have all the action and break that down from the Call Sam studio. For now, back to you.
All right, Lissy, thank you. We look forward to that. As Mr. Nathan tries to put the finishing touches on this one, he gets ahead of Jose Abreu. 0 for 4 today for Abreu. A couple of strikeouts. He has fanned 6 times in the series.
He's hit a couple of mammoth home runs, both to straightaway center field, one off of JV and the other one off of Drew Smiley. But as you mentioned, the Tigers pitching has punched him out 6 times too.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if those home runs are 400 feet, 200 feet, 500. They all count as just 1, as they had for Abreu. But the rest of the series relatively quiet. Well, technically, one of them was a 2-run shot. 1-1. We'll be hearing this guy's name quite a bit as the season progresses. 1-1 pitch. It's in the air. Foul ground, first base side. And back into the seats.
Tigers have done such a nice job against Abreu with the breaking balls, is that when he does get himself a fastball to hit, he's been a little tardy on it.
And as a result, in this at bat, he's down 1-2.
1-2.
Joe Nathan would love to throw a ground ball here to Danny Worth. He can get it to Kinsler. They can end the game. A good slider might get that done for him if it's down.
Much rather do that than have to deal with the guy on deck, Adam Dunn. The 1-2. Big rip there by Abreu.
Not going to get that double play with that fastball up there.
Hit effort today for the Tigers. They lead 7-4.
Here comes that slider.
In the dirt. Two balls, two strikes on Jose Abreu. There's Dunn waiting on deck. Off to Target Field after this one is complete tonight. 3-game weekend series in Minnesota. A couple of day games Saturday and Sunday. Fouled straight back. Tigers are 2 outs away from their 11th victory of the season. They came in at 10-8 with a 1-game lead in the Central. Another foul. Tigers homestand began with a rain-shortened series against Cleveland. They split the 2 games there. They took 2 out of 3 from the Angels, and they're trying to split with Chicago with a win here today. And again the 2-2. Another foul straight back by Abreu. Taking some healthy cuts. Dunn waiting on deck. Tigers had a 1-run lead until they got 2 in the bottom of the 8th. 2 big runs. White Sox need 1 more base runner to bring the tying run to the plate.
Got to make sure you get the breaking ball down to Abreu.
Fouled away again.
That's a breaking ball there, that slider, but it's hanging. And Joe having a difficult time of getting it down.
Abreu making him work here. Nathan now has thrown 17 pitches here in this half inning. 1 on, 1 out. He's walked a batter. He has struck out a batter. Runner goes. Swing and a miss. Throw down to second. It'll go into short left field. Looked like it hit the runner. He's safe at second base. Oh, the ball hit the batter, they're saying. And they're calling the runner out. And that's going to end the ball game. All right, we'll take that. So the Tigers will win the game. Interference, I believe, has been called here. Robin Ventura getting the explanation.
Well, let's take a look at it, and probably Abreu got into the throwing lane of Holiday, and that's exactly what happened.
Oh, he did.
Yep. Interference called by Dan Iasonia, home plate umpire, which ends the game.
All right. Thank you very much. Are you good with that, Rod?
I'll take that.
Absolutely. Abreu strikes out for the 3rd time, and then he leans into Holiday. Ball game over. So the Tigers end up getting the split in this 4-game series with Chicago as they win it today by a score of 7-4. We'll be back with a whole lot more from Comerica Park. Tigers a winner today.